CNN is now reporting that the two men were captured earlier today in Twin Falls, Idaho. Thank you for joining us tonight here at NewsLink. I'm Brooke Fallrad.
And I'm Tara Konechny.
Authorities have been searching for the two men after they ambushed corrections officers. The officers were transporting them from the inmate from the Boise hospital. Laura Aguirre has more on the firefight and escape and a message from the Boise police chief.
They are dangerous, they are armed, and they have shown a propensity for violence.
Boise, Idaho's police chief is talking about these two men, escaped inmate Skylar Mead and his alleged accomplice Nicholas Umfenauer. Both are on the run after what police called a coordinated attack on corrections officers early Wednesday morning. As Mead was being prepared for transport back to prison from Boise's St. Alphonsus Hospital, a man appeared with a gun.
Suspect attacked and fired at the officers, striking two of them.
That suspect was later identified as Umfenauer, who police say then fled with Mead in a gray Honda Civic sedan. Prison officials say Mead is serving 20 years for aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer. He's considered extremely dangerous, housed in the prison's most restricted area, known as administrative segregation. He's also known to have ties to a white supremacist gang.
He has tattoos on his face, the number 1 on one side of his face and the number 11 on the other side.
Numbers that correspond with letters of the alphabet.
The 1 and 11 refer to AK or Aryan Knights.
Now Umfenauer is accused of aggravated battery against law enforcement and aiding and abetting an escape, according to police.
We want to make sure that any member of the public who happens to come in contact with them is aware of that and that you do not try to intervene.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
One of the officers wounded by the suspect is in critical but stable condition. According to the police chief, the other has non-life-threatening injuries. He said a third corrections officer was wounded by gunfire from a responding police officer.
The search for a missing Missouri college student continues on in Nashville. Authorities and volunteers have expanded the search for Riley Strain to include multiple counties along the Cumberland River. Following a search of the Chatham Dam yesterday, the Chatham County Sheriff's Department said it found no signs of the 22-year-old. Strain was last seen in downtown Nashville nearly 2 weeks ago after he was kicked out of a bar for being overserved.
The U.S. Justice Department and more than a dozen states filed a blockbuster antitrust lawsuit against Apple today.
The DOJ claims Apple uses anti-competitive tactics like blocking new apps and degrading how Android messages appear on iPhones to maintain a monopoly on the smartphone market. Mike Valerio explains what at the very core of this historic suit.
It's a sweeping U.S. antitrust lawsuit against Apple, which the Department of Justice compares to its historic case against Microsoft in the 90s and the breakup of the monopoly of Standard Oil back in 1911. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said Thursday the heart of this blockbuster case is simple.
We allege that Apple has consolidated its monopoly power, not by making its own products better, but by making other products worse.
Making other products worse, the DOJ alleges, to disincentivize consumers from using products that are not made by Apple.
We bring this case to make sure that Apple competes by innovating rather than imposing rules and fees that prevent others from innovating and competing too.
The DOJ described how Apple, it says, degrades how Android messages appear on iPhones, blocks new apps on the iPhone operating system, and restricts competing smartwatches from working with iPhones. All the DOJ says making consumers more likely to buy from Apple.
As any iPhone user who has ever seen a green text message or received a tiny, grainy video can attest, Apple's anti-competitive conduct also includes making it more difficult for iPhone users to message with users of non-Apple products.
Apple denied the lawsuit's allegations and in a statement said the lawsuit could set a, quote, dangerous precedent and hinder its ability to make compelling and consumer-friendly technology. The company writing, quote, this lawsuit threatens who we are and the principles that set Apple products apart in fiercely competitive markets. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Apple said that the legal action could threaten the tech giant's ability to create future products in the industry.
New York Attorney General Letitia James has taken an initial step to seize Donald Trump's Seven Springs property in Westchester County. Trump has until Monday to post an appeals bond of nearly $500 million. Last month, a judge issued the judgment after finding Trump and others liable for fraud related to the Trump Organization. It's the first indication the state is preparing to try to seize the Trump golf course and private estate there. Next steps could include a lien or move to foreclosure.
Thank you so much, Tara. Now, Lance has our first weather.
Yeah, temperatures right now in the lower 30s across northern and central Indiana. 31 degrees in Muncie, 32 degrees in Kokomo, and 30 degrees in Fort Wayne. You probably thought it felt very cold outside, and you were correct because it was very, very cold today. Now, coming up in our 7-day forecast, I'll have the weekend forecast along with scattered rain chances as we go throughout the weekend.
Thank you so much, Lance. Today, lawmakers unveiled the $1.2 trillion government funding package that could avert a partial shutdown. It increases border and defense funding. Top Democrats and Republicans are trying to pass the legislation before tomorrow's deadline. Under House GOP rules, leadership typically requires 72 hours for members to review a bill text before a vote. If the government misses the deadline, it would likely have limited impact to government operations if funding were to be restored before the end of the weekend.
The Senate has a beef with beef from Paraguay. Today, the chamber voted to overturn a Biden administration rule allowing the U.S. to import beef from Paraguay. They said Paraguay's recent bout with foot and mouth disease raised concerns about the safety of the country's beef products. Along with suspension of Paraguay beef imports, the bipartisan bill also calls for the creation of a group to evaluate potential health threats from that country's food products.
After the break, how one realtor association is responding to a lawsuit. See how this deal may lower home prices.
And how Baltimore is selling vacant homes. Stay with us.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, love you always.
Everything I do
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
The cost of buying and selling a home could be lowering. The National Association of Realtors, which represents more than 1 million realtors in the U.S., recently agreed to settle an antitrust lawsuits with a group of home sellers. The NRA has agreed to pay $418 million in damages and eliminate rules on realtor commissions. Some real estate experts say the settlement can open doors to much lower competitive commissions, perhaps even more flat rate fees. And this could mean a drop in average home sale prices.
Nearly 1,000 vacant homes in Baltimore are up for sale for just $1. Yesterday, Baltimore's Board of Estimates approved a program that allows the city-owned homes to be sold for a single buck. Only individual buyers and community land trusts can buy the homes for $1. Small nonprofits would need to pay $1,000, while developers and larger nonprofits will be charged $3,000. Supporters of the program hope the buyers will fix them up and will live in them. However, opponents fear that current city residents will be pushed out once the neighborhoods improve. It's actually not a new idea for Baltimore. Charm City created a new generation of homesteaders in the 1970s with a similar $1 house plan.
About 10% of U.S. workers are in jobs that are actually exposed to artificial intelligence. That's according to a White House analysis. Research trusts that this does not mean these jobs will be wiped out by AI. For some workers, the technology would actually complement their tasks, but the report does not identify specifically what occupations or industries might be impacted. The report also found workers with less education and lower income are especially exposed to AI.
The Grinch may have played havoc with the 2023 holiday Starbucks branded gift sets. The ceramic mugs in these items can overheat and break if microwaved, or if extremely hot liquid is poured inside. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, officials say there's been at least a dozen reported incidents of mugs breaking. 10 people suffered related injuries, including 9 reports of burns and blisters. Another person suffered a cut finger. More than 440,000 of these gift sets were sold nationwide and online from November 2023 through January of this year. Consumers are advised to return the mugs to the place of purchase for a full refund. More information is available on cpsc.gov.
Ever wanted to be an astronaut? This could be your chance. NASA is accepting applications for astronauts. However, there is a long list of requirements. Among them, you must have a master's degree in a STEM field, which is science, technology, engineering, or math, from an accredited institution. In addition, applicants must have a minimum of 3 years in a related professional experience, and the ability to successfully complete NASA's long-duration flight physical. Selected astronauts will join NASA's Artemis program, which is preparing to land the first woman and the next man on the moon. They will explore and conduct experiments at the lunar South Pole, where humans have never been. There are also future plans to travel to Mars.
I'm tracking a system off in the northern Great Plains, off in our west. Do have some rain chances as we go throughout the day tomorrow. And I'll be keeping an eye on that, and I'll have some timing for you with those rain chances as we go throughout the day tomorrow.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone, that's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back. Today, Governor Eric Holcomb declared a disaster emergency for Delaware, Jefferson, and Randolph counties. This comes as a result of the, quote, severe and tornadic activity from last Thursday. According to the executive order, the disaster led to severe injury, destruction of homes, businesses, and infrastructure. There is also a loss of power, downing of trees, and closure to many roads. The order said, quote, the Indiana Department of Homeland Security and its executive director have been working to implement the state emergency plan to enlist and support more state agencies and emergency services.
The tornado from that event actually lasted for about 25 miles across Indiana. When it crossed into Ohio, that lasted another 20 plus miles. So that tornado was on the ground for over 40 miles on March 14th. That was rated an EF3 tornado with maximum wind gusts of 165 miles per hour. That is a ton of damage that it caused. Only 38 people were injured, but luckily no one was killed. Now, looking at radar right now, we are quiet. We had those clouds earlier on this afternoon. Those have since moved out as we got into the evening hours. So we'll be pretty clear throughout the rest of the evening tonight. And when we get to our temperatures, still at 31 degrees in Muncie, 39 degrees in Indianapolis, 37 degrees in Shelbyville, and 41 degrees in Bloomington. Now, a high temperature today, very, very cold, at least for this time of year, 40 degrees in Muncie, 53 degrees is our average high. So we're 13 degrees below our average high of 53, and our 84 degrees is our record high temperature, which has been in the books since 2012. Now, as we go throughout the night, we do expect to keep these mostly clear skies, and we will have a few clouds maybe getting towards the mid-Friday morning, but we do start to get partly cloudy skies when we get towards mid to late Friday morning at that point, and then we start to look at some scattered shower potential. Then, now overnight lows tonight dropping to around 30 degrees in Muncie, nice and calm east winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And again, take note, clouds do increase late, but otherwise it's going to be a very nice night ahead, although pretty cool. So make sure to have a winter coat if you're going to be outside tonight. Now tomorrow, 31 degrees at around 8 a.m. Still nice and calm as we go throughout the morning, but when we get towards around lunchtime, a few clouds increase, and we do expect to see some winds increase as well. 49 degrees for that lunchtime temperature. Also take note of some scattered rain potential as we go throughout lunchtime, and that even continues as we go towards the evening hours as well. 54 degrees at 5 p.m. Still some breezy conditions at that point. Now take a look at precision cast. We are looking at these showers from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. as when the biggest chance for showers will be. We do see another chance as we get past midnight on Saturday, but those chances die out by the time we get towards 5 a.m. at that point. Now take a look at your weekend forecast. Some dry and nice conditions are ahead this weekend, and mostly sunny skies for Saturday and both for Sunday, but conditions will be a bit windy, so it won't be a perfect weekend. However, it still will be pretty nice and dry. 44 degrees for Saturday, and for Sunday, 50 degrees. Just again, be sure to take note of some of those breezy conditions as well. Now our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook showing some nice and around average temperatures for the probabilities for the 6 to 10 day range at this point. In our 7-day forecast showing 55 degrees for the high temperature tomorrow. Again, take note of the scattered rain shower potential as we go throughout the afternoon. Tomorrow we do cool down for Saturday, but we at least get back towards 50 degrees for Sunday. When we get to Monday, hey, I'm just happy to be back in those 60 degrees, but unfortunately it doesn't last long as we have some rain at that point.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of students on campus today pulling out those winter coats. I know I did. It's a little bit painful after spring break to do that.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but I grew up around the Windy City, and I must say, Muncie is a lot windier here. I have to put my hair up every time I walk out of my dorm. The wind is blowing everywhere, and I'm not looking forward to more breezy conditions.
So is Muncie the new Windy City now?
Muncie might be the new Windy City. I don't know. Chicago has competitors.
Okay, that's going to be a new nickname for Muncie now.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I am looking forward to the 60-degree temperatures into next week. We still need to go a little bit higher since we're now into spring, but I'll take what we can get.
Yeah, this is the first week of spring. I was expecting some more sunshine, less rain, but thank you so much, Lance.
Of course.
Sorry, not weather.
One Ball State program looks to make a run in the postseason, and March Madness is finally here. We have a round of all the games, all this and more next in sports.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows. Ooh.
My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jackie Madden with sports. The season is officially over for Ball State women's basketball. The Cards fell in a 77-59 final to the Belmont Barons in Worthen Arena in the first round of the inaugural NCAA Women's Basketball Invitational Tournament. BSU down just 3 at the half before a Big Bruins outscore 24-9 in the third quarter. This marks the end of the 23-24 season for Ball State, as the Cardinals end the year with a record 28-6. Those 28 wins, the most in Ball State women's basketball history. To stay on the hardwood, it's blackout night for Ball State men's volleyball as they take on Ohio State for their second matchup this season. NewsLink Indiana's Bryce Demsevich is live from Worthen Arena to give us an update. Bryce, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Jackie. Worthen Arena has seen a lot of action today, with earlier Ball State women's basketball hosting the WBIT against Belmont, which unfortunately ended up in a loss for them. But good for Ball State fans as they have another game here in Worthen Arena tonight with Ball State men's volleyball taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. And we know that these two always put on a show, and the first set was no caveat. And throughout the first set, it was back and forth all throughout, but about halfway through that first set, Ohio State would pull away and win the first set 25-18. And of course, Ball State would look to bounce back in the second set, but started out slowly, creating a 5-point gap early, and that gap would only continue to grow as Ohio State would pull away and take a commanding 2-0 set lead over Ball State, winning the second set 25-16. And of course, Ball State would have to be perfect from here on out to get back into this one. And so Donan Cruz would make some substitutions and some rotational changes, but unfortunately it would come just short as Ohio State would win in straight sets over Ball State, winning the third set 25-18. Now, Ball State looks to the weekend to bounce back from this loss against the Buckeyes as they go to Purdue-Fort Wayne to play against the Mastodons with the first serve set for 7 p.m. Live outside Worthen Arena, Bryce Demsevich, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thanks, Bryce. March Madness has begun. As far as it started, some teams' chance in the dance is officially over. To start in the East bracket, the first upset of the tournament goes to number 11 Duquesne in a close win over BYU 71-67. This is the first time since 1969 that they will advance to the round of 32. And Illinois avoids an upset with a confident win over Morehead State. In the West, the two top seeds in UNC and Arizona rout Wagner and LBSU as Michigan State pulls off a demanding upset over Mississippi State 51-69. From the Midwest, the Akron Zips from the MAC lose to Creighton 77-60. It's the month of the 11 seeds, and as Oregon takes down South Carolina, Dayton narrowly escapes Nevada after a 20-0 run with 7 minutes left in the second half to win 63-60. And finally, the Routs, Colorado State, 56-44. There are 3 other matchups taking place as we speak. The men's tournament continues on. Guys, I am definitely looking forward to March Madness. Those brackets, yeah.
Me too. I made my brackets last night. Can't say they were that great, but thank you so much, Jackie. Now, after your break, Evan Schatz has your campus coverage.
And there's one final look at weather.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. My name is Evan Schatz, and this is your campus coverage. Ball State is 1 day away from its annual day for transfer students. BSU Transfer Day is for students in and outside of Indiana who are looking to take their education to Ball State. Some reasons for coming to Ball State are finances, changes in academic interests, and personal fit. Transfer Center Director Christopher Shirk reveals the biggest benefit for transferring students who come to Ball State.
The nice thing about Ball State is I think that we are a place that is that perfect fit that can be accommodating to someone that's looking for maybe a little bit bigger school than they were previously at, or maybe a little bit smaller school than they were at. It's a great place that you can find that niche and find your fit and that sense of belonging.
Once students apply to come to Ball State, Shirk and the Transfer Center will look at the information submitted in their application. If you know anyone interested in transferring to Ball State, they can email Shirk's office at transfer@bsu.edu.
And thank you so much, Evan. And weather forecaster Lance Huffman has a final look at our weather.
Yeah, guys, temperatures for tomorrow in the mid-50s. We do cool down for Saturday. We do get back into the 50s for Sunday, Monday, and really through the rest of the 7-day. But do take note of those rain chances Monday and Tuesday, and of course, still keeping an eye on those scattered rain chances for tomorrow. Now, 64 degrees on Monday. Again, that's still something that I would definitely love to see. But mostly sunny skies this weekend, and we do see the return of some mostly sunny skies when we go through Wednesday and Thursday.
Now I'm really looking forward to those sunnier skies. I'm ready for sunshine. I'm ready for those sun rays. I'm ready for that good summer and spring feeling that you get when you walk outside. The grass is green, the trees are blooming, and I know when I came back from spring break, I was hoping that was what I'd see, and hopefully it's what we're going to get.
A little bit disappointed coming back from spring break.
For sure. Thank you so much. That's all we have tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. with Waking Up with Cardinal Weather, streaming live on NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.